Well, here we are, and I cannot believe that it's almost the end of the year. I don't know about all of you, but somehow it went from being, never ending. 2021 seems to like have gone forever. And now here we are, and we're almost saying, well, we've just said Happy Hanukkah. We've just done Thanksgiving. We're about to do Christmas. Then there's going to be Greek Christmas. And apparently there's, I think, over 200 different ways the world celebrates New Year's. So it's all coming up. I hope you guys are doing really, really well wherever you are on the planet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. I'm Henry Weinreich, your host, and you have landed on Planet Henry and Friends Live podcast. I really believe we've got an amazing show coming up for you today. And it's an interesting one because it's a countdown show. And the countdown show is the best dressed of 2021. But while we were researching it and while we were taking a look at who have got the best categories, from Lizzo to Hailey Bieber, all the way from, Kate Middleton, all the way through to Billie Eilish, who's a Gen Z demagogue. The interesting thing is it's not just what you dress and how you dress, but we're also looking, as we do our fashion countdown for 2021, why various celebrities wore what they wore. This is going to be unequivocally a really exciting show. We've got lots of footage to go through with you, and we're going to be doing a countdown in the next 10 seconds. So please bring up a sofa, grab yourself a coffee, a tea, or a cocktail, depending on what time of day or night it is, and get yourself comfortable. This is Henry and Friends Live right around the globe. And here we go. I'm Henry Weinreich, your host, and you have joined us on Henry and Friends Live for a fabulous countdown of the best dressed for 2021. Now, in our green room, we have two fantastic guests, Hannah Litman, based in Miami, Florida, and Lucy Laurita, based in Melbourne. So we're going to do a little bit of a time countdown. It is exactly 1:30 p.m. on the Pacific side of America. That makes it 4:30 p.m. Saturday, where Hannah is, on the east side of the coast of the United States of America. In the middle of Europe, in London, Greenwich Mean Time, it's 9:30 a.m. in the morning. And on Sunday morning, they're just getting up in Tokyo. It's 6:30 a.m. in the morning. And that makes it in Melbourne, where Lucy Laurita is based, and I am based in Sydney, our same time zone, 8:30 a.m. in the morning. Welcome. I'm going to first of all welcome in time zone order, Hannah Litman. Good morning, Hannah. How are you?
Hi, Henry. How are you?
Excellent. How's your weekend going so far?
It's great. It's only Saturday afternoon here.
Well, how's your Saturday morning been going?
It was lovely. I was out with my son, and it's Art Basel here in Miami at the moment, so it's very chaotic. So we're going to be taking in some of that this evening and tomorrow.
And so what is Art Basel about? Can you, because I know a friend of mine went down from New York to actually, be part of the whole, display of art. What happens there?
Well, it's the art show from Basel, Germany, and it's been in Miami now for probably the last 10 years. And everyone in the art world, but also now celebrity and fashion worlds, come and congregate in Miami. And the Art Basel, which is a 3-day Thursday to Saturday thing, has become a week, 10-day long celebration of art and culture here in Miami.
Well, fantastic. Talking about art and culture, our designer and mental health advocate, Lucy Laurita in Melbourne. And top of the Sunday morning to you, Lucy. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. How are you both?
Well, we've had a little bit of a start on Hannah, who's actually principal at Wink Communications there in Miami. How's your weekend been so far?
Pretty full on. Yesterday I took my daughter to an audition, so she's only 10. So that was really exciting for her. And today, celebrating my nephew's 21st birthday. So it's really an emotional weekend because, remember when he was born in 2000, he was a 2000 baby. So we know how significant that year was.
Unbelievable. Well, it's interesting because we have quite an emotional and exciting show coming up because we are all together going to be doing a countdown. And we've had many conversations over this last week, how we're going to categorize, what we're going to categorize. So we've all agreed at least we're going to try and do categories. I'm going to put up our very first category, which is Billie Eilish. And we've got her now for the most dramatic, let me just get it exactly. The best transformation or the biggest dramatic transformation in 2021. Let's just take a look at Billie Eilish, which before her transformation, and then how she stepped out onto the red carpet in 2021. Here we go.
Billie Eilish goes blonde.
This is what I want, in my wildest dream.
The 19-year-old bad guy singer ditched her signature neon green and black hairstyle that she's rocked for a few years now and debuted a blonde new do. Billie took to her Instagram stories to tease her 7.7 million fans on Instagram that she changed things up, asking, "Can you guess what color?" before revealing her bright blonde look.
So there we have Billie Eilish. What do you think, Hannah, about this transformation? By the way, we all know she has real issues with body dysmorphia. And before we put on her look for 2021, what are your thoughts about Billie Eilish?
I think she's a trailblazer for her generation. We're not discussing the look yet.
Sorry, we're going to. Okay, so you're calling up the second look. Here we go.
No, are we? Okay.
Oh, sorry. What was the question?
Are we going through her look and am I commenting about her new look?
Okay, so we've all looked at the old look. Very good question. Now, to be very defined, we're going to be looking at the new look so we can do contrast and your thoughts. Thank you very much, Hannah. Quite right. Here we go. Can't comment on the new look if we don't see it. Here we go. It's amazing. This is amazing. This happens to be an Oscar de la Renta gown. And the interesting thing about this dress is she was not going to wear Oscar de la Renta unless Oscar de la Renta decided that he was not going to do any future collections without him dropping her out of his collection. Absolutely. Marilyn Monroe. Now your thoughts, Hannah, please.
I'm a bit conflicted because I love Oscar generally, and I love his designs on the red carpet and the runway, and I love Billie Eilish. However, I think for her to go to a stalwart of American fashion like this, in a new age of Oscar post his and sad departure from the world, I just thought it was a bit too staid. I think the hair dates her a little bit. And I think for a trailblazer of her generation, I think they could have come up with something so much more exciting than this.
You think she's done it? She's done it too far the other way. The pendulum swung the other way. Lucy Laurita, what do you think?
Well, I think she looks really happy. I think she has, publicly stated how she's struggled with her image and stuff like that. But she's also now come and said she was extremely happy with her look. And look, all the major design houses have started reshaping their designs to suit her. So she's definitely a trailblazer. She's definitely making waves in changing and influencing us on style. I think she looks fabulous. She definitely looked older than what she is. She's only a young woman.
So if I pause you there, because we've got quite a few to go. So I think there's almost a consensus. She's a trailblazer. And perhaps I'm hearing from both of you a little bit of disappointment that she went too far the other way. But I suppose at the same time, I think she's trying to find her own milieu. She's trying to find out, who she actually is as a young lady. So I think that's our very first one. The next one actually coming up is Billy Porter. Now, we've got Billy Porter for redefining style with fashion fluidity. He's extraordinary. He's best known for his work in Kinky Boots. but let's just have a look at the preparation of his style by Billy Quinn at the recent British Fashion Awards. He really takes the cake. And by the way, as we all know, he has this whole entourage that comes with him. Let's take a look.
Billy Porter makes a dramatic red carpet entrance at the Fashion Awards 2021. On a frigid night in London, the fashion industry has stepped out on the red carpet for the Fashion Awards 2021, hosted by the British Fashion Council. Billy Porter was on hosting duties for the night at Royal Albert Hall and made a dramatic entrance to the event with an entourage of dancers. The posing Cinderella actor wore a glittering patterned black and silver gown with sculpted shoulders by designer Richard Quinn, as well as black platform-heeled boots.
Okay. What do you think, Lucy, about Billy Porter? Obviously really pushing the envelope. Do you think he deserves the accolade of redefining style, fashion fluidity? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Like what I've seen, and in watching his entrance with the gold outfit was absolutely incredible. He puts on a show, and that's also the great thing to remember about red carpet is that how the talent transforms and gives us a show.
Absolutely understood. Well, I'm just actually going to pull up some footage of this show for all of us to comment. Hannah, you'll be the next. So this is Billy Porter, and I know you love the footage, so all of us do. Here we go. Take a look at this.
Darling.
He's amazing.
Before she flies away. Hey everybody, this is Billy Porter, and this is my third and final fitting for the Met Gala with the blondes. And we're doing an Egyptian look, as you can see.
Hannah, what did you think? He's amazing, isn't
Well,
he?
I'm a huge Billy Porter fan. In my eyes, that man can do no wrong. And that doesn't fall short on the red carpet. He does blur the lines between, as Lucy touched on, fashion and performance. But there is still such a strong fashion aesthetic there. And I love how he is just such a voice for the LGBTQ plus community, and he uses the red carpet moments and what he's wearing to do that. And I just think he's incredible.
Yeah, I think we've got a consensus. It's performance, but he makes you look and he makes you redefine your perception. And that's why we're talking about best dressed, but we're also looking behind the scenes and the scenes of why these celebrities have caught our attention in 2021. Now, talking about catching our attention, we know that there's, let's just say, some interesting headlines when it comes to the royal family at the moment. And it's been going on for a couple of years. And the interesting thing is that we look actually at the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, and we actually look at her because we're talking about performance. We've talked about branding, and now this is really the category of best strategic style, personal brand, Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton. Now, we all recall that look when she was actually, all of a sudden, the world gasped. We couldn't believe what we're seeing. But let's just remind ourselves of what that look was, both Lucy and Hannah, for the Bond movie. Let's take a look.
Channeling her inner Bond girl. The royal stepped out at the No Time to Die premiere on Tuesday, and she looks stunning in a glittering gold Jenny Packham gown that featured caped sleeves and a plunging neckline. The 39-year-old paired the look with a chic updo, gold pendant earrings, and a subtle smoky eye. Kate joined her husband Prince William, as well as Prince Charles and Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, as they walked the red carpet at the Royal Albert Hall in London. Kate was also photographed chatting it up with the star of the film, Daniel Craig, who plays James Bond.
Hannah, what do you think? Does that excite you?
When I opened the Daily Mail the morning after that premiere, all I could say was, wow. I mean, this was her coming out with a bang moment. She's a very pretty woman, very attractive, hasn't really put a foot wrong in many of her fashion choices, but also played it quite safe. And this was I'm going to be Queen of England moment. Look at me, guys. The only thing I would say is I would have liked to have seen the hair in a little bit more of a modern style, maybe a sleek ponytail. She kept the hair quite traditional, but who knows what she's going to do next? I mean, that dress, Jenny Packham, wow.
Was it wow for you too, Lucy?
Definitely. I mean, I've always loved her classic look, but felt this really elevated her. And I've gone through some of the chats, and all the comments was just like, you know, how she makes everything look so effortlessly, but so classical and authentic. Like she's you know, really refined her style, and
but she looked very comfortable in that look. Like
yes.
That was what was interesting to me. Yes,
and that's her authentic character. You know, not trying to be anything else.
Well, that's a real key note, because when we're talking about personal branding, I agree both with you. It was wow. But she looked comfortable. She owned it. I also agree with you, Hannah. It could have been a bit more contemporary, but I think we all agree this was her moment. Remember that revenge black little dress that Lady Di wore, right? The black velvet, amazing off the shoulder. You know, it's over. This, I agree with you both. This was the coming of age of the new Queen of England when that takes place. May the Queen live to 120 years, as we say in the Jewish culture, but really extraordinary. I want to thank everybody that's viewing this morning from around the world, from Mexico, from London. We welcome you all. And before we take the break into part 2, let's talk about a little bit of a shock factor. Now, the interesting thing is, where we love her or we don't love her, or whatever we believe, Kim Kardashian happens to be the person that we think about when we think about actually breaking the internet. I mean, this woman knows how to do that. Now, let's just revisit the all black look from Balenciaga. Let's get freaked out, or let's get juiced up. Here we go. And I can see you smiling. Let me just get her little thing up here, because it really is quite extraordinary when we go into it. Past Kate Middleton, and we're into most controversial, breaking the internet. And let's have a look. I mean, when I first saw this,
channeling her inner Bond girl.
Sorry, going back to that, the black. I mean, while we're looking at this, what were you thinking, Lucy?
Well, look, Met Gala is where fashion tests the limits of art. I think the all black, well, she's making a statement.
Boy, is she making a statement. What do you think?
Me,
come on, Lucy, tell us what you think.
A little bit dark. I'm not sure.
Dark.
You know, I'm not sure what her statement was here.
Hannah, do you know the statement? Do you understand?
We were going through a dark period of 2020, 21. I don't know. I think we could have had a bit of uplift.
What do you think, Hannah? It was dark, definitely black. What are your thoughts on the matter?
Self-indulgent much. I just thought it was really kind of holding a mirror up to us, and knowing that we all just talk about anything that she does and says. And I was also intrigued the fact that Kanye West, her ex-husband, co-collaborated on the design with Balenciaga for it. I don't know what that was. And it didn't make sense to me until I saw her dress at her best friend Simon Huck's wedding. I don't know whether you both saw that.
Yes.
And I suddenly understood what the black outfit was, because like high fashion and couture, what we see on the runways and what we see in a designer's sketchbooks isn't necessarily what we're going to go into a store and purchase to wear on the street. And when this kind of all-in-one bootlegging dress piece
ensemble,
was actually created into a dress, this bright electric blue, gorgeous outfit that she wore to her friend's wedding, I kind of understood the statement and the reimagination of fashion into the next decade and what her and her team are envisioning.
But my question to both of you is, first of all, Lucy, yes or no? Did she break the internet?
she definitely broke the internet. Like
Hannah,
everyone's
did you
talking
did-
about it. She did the job.
She broke the internet. So a bit dark. Some people are saying here, living life with Denise. Welcome to the show, Denise. It was dark, but it definitely broke the internet. Now I'm going to be just talking about next week's show for a second. This is our countdown. It will be our second last show. And we're going to be doing a body piece show because this is all about what we're thinking as we come into the Christmas period. Thank you so much for joining us all around the globe. And next weekend, we have a most extraordinary woman by the name of Nina Manelson, and she's all about body peace. And it's not about counting calories. It's not about weighing food, not about denying yourself. It's all about the opposite of non-self-denial of food. And that's body peace next weekend. Let's just have a little Zoom clip.
Every butterfly I get belongs to you. You don't believe me, but it's true. Show the freckles on my arm, spell out your name. Real feelings coming through. 'Cause all I know and all I am is you.
We are back. Hannah,
Hi.
body piece, eh? Unbelievable. Lucy, may there be body piece for next weekend. I want to thank you both ladies for doing such a wonderful insights because this really does provoke thinking. I think when people look at people in fashion and style, sometimes we just look at the billboard, but it's really interesting as we're doing the countdown today to actually go behind the billboard. And I applaud you both because you're doing such a sterling effort of it. Now, the next one, thank you. It's always a joy. The next one is best LGBTQI plus style icon Lil Nas. Now, we all know that he's come out, and not only does he come out, but he's also another one that is a real performance artist. I mean, the man has just got, when he came onto the Met Gala, which we're about to see in a moment, he came out in not one, not two, but three Donna Versace outfits. Let's look at the king of style fashion as he unveils his look. Let's have a look. This is unbelievable. I mean, when he came out like this, I don't know about you ladies, I was looking at this and I was thinking, my God, this is an amazing look. And then it got even more dramatic. Just wait for the unveil. It's unbelievable. Isn't he amazing? He's a very beautiful man. Really, really hot, really sexy. Hannah, do you remember this look as he was coming out of the red carpet?
I do. And while I love when Billie Porter does these incredible reveals, this was not fashion for me. This was pure performance.
Pure performance for you. What about you, Lucy? Was it pure performance for you?
Incredible. And I love the human side, looking back behind the scenes and watching the interview of him looking at his own style progression, evolving, and how emotional he was. You know, he's come so far from the old town. What is the song? Old Town Road, you know, where he's just wearing the Nike t-shirt. So, yeah.
So I think what's interesting for both of you and what's actually really pushing through the the fashion boundary is at what stage has fashion and style become performance, and at what point has fashion become style? And I think, if anything, Hannah, 2021 and Lucy was the year of performance, fashion, and style, which we're seeing. A very interesting one from Jeffrey Alvin, we love his comments a lot. I definitely am not known, all our people who are viewing us around the globe, all your comments, I definitely am not known for my fashion sense, but I appreciate that individuals are pushing their fashion to show their self-expression, and at times make statements about culture and our community. And that's actually exactly what we were talking about. Rabun is saying, ooh, wow, exquisite. And another one here from Living Life with Denise, definitely sexual transmutation and incredible. And by the way, just going back a little bit on our comments, we have one from Mr. Robert Pulaski in Mexico. Love Kate. Her mum was a British Airlines flight attendant. She met her now husband, Michael, at work. Very lovely parents that Kate's deserving of. Quite humble. Very interesting to have these insights. Are you enjoying yourselves, ladies?
Yeah,
Very much.
always love
Yes.
talking with you.
I'll tell you something. It's so interesting because, you know, you never have the opportunity, and we have 5 more minutes to go, at actually talking about fashion in this manner. And, you know, are you feeling very 2021 at the moment, Lucy? Are you feeling like the show is about to close for 2021? What are your thoughts? And then I'm going to ask you, Hannah, the same question.
I'm getting very excited for 2022. This is great. I love this show because it shows all the positivity that, you know, that our lockdown has sort of hindered sort of that view. But now it's like there's so much amazingness out there, you know. So I love that the red carpet has become this show.
Well, I think it's interesting. What do you think, Hannah? Have you done 2021 yet? I mean, these are positive bits of it, but can you believe it's the end of the year coming up?
No, it's the year of oxymorons. It was the longest year, and yet I can't believe it's come to an end.
I agree. Don't worry. Talk amongst yourselves. Well, because I tell you why I was getting really, really excited, because we're talking about, you know, changes and pushing the envelope. Now, in 2019, Lizzo came out with her now most the breakthrough album, which was in 2019, and it was "'Cause I Love You." And Lizzo is an advocate for positive body. And I'll tell you something, talk about performance. I think any lesson we've learned about fashion at the moment is, my God, you've got to really put it out there to really break the internet. And I think I'm about to show you something I think we'll all agree probably broke it. Here we go.
As hell at Cardi B's 29th birthday party in a sparkly see-through ensemble, but some
completely see-through, by the way,
comments have caused Lizzo's fans to speak out and defend her. So let's get into it.
Rumors are swirling after Lizzo took to her Instagram to show off the already iconic outfit she wore to celebrate Cardi B's birthday. In the pictures and videos, she rocked a gorgeous purple see-through gown covered in crystals with nothing underneath but a thong and matching pasties. Slay queen. Along with the photo set, she explained, "I wore Jimmy Choo's for the record, since we only see her barefoot in the video and can't see her shoes in any of the photos." Never one to leave fans hanging, Lizzo also posted a steamy video dancing to the song.
Is it too much, Hannah? Is this performance to another level? Is it good? Is it bad? Body positivity?
This is a performance. I see a young woman who's so beautiful, but that face is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And if you watch the documentary about her, you can't help but fall in love with her. With anyone of any shape or size, I always prefer the more covered up looks. And that's not because I'm a prude. When I look at Lizzo's looks historically, she does look so beautiful when she's in those tailored couture outfits. And I get what she's doing, but I would have the same reaction no matter what body size. So the body positivity argument kind of I'm putting to one side. I wouldn't say this look is necessarily fashion. I mean, it's making a statement. I wouldn't call it fashion.
It's making a statement, which you support, I support
the message.
You support the message. Lucy, is a bit, I mean,
I agree with Hannah.
You do.
It doesn't matter what shape or size. I'm a more conservative, covered up, like classic sort of look.
Can I just add to that? Sorry.
It is a bit much.
I would also say that if you're being a body positivity and a role model to young women to embrace their bodies, then actually you're doing the opposite of being a role model if you go out in a fishnet dress, no matter what shape or size, without a bra, that's where I struggle.
So I think what's so interesting, and I think what we're learning about this week's show, which is the countdown to the best dressed, we've talked about, fashion and who's really caught our attention. one thing's for sure, she's definitely, pulling up the placard. Do we love it completely? Maybe not. But that's the whole idea of it, isn't it? I think, if anything, Best Dressed 2021 was basically completely controversial. There's no doubt about it, wouldn't you say?
I appreciate her statement and how it encourages others to be confident with themselves, no matter what shape, size, gender, anything. So I can appreciate in that, like the statement. But yeah,
well,
body positivity shouldn't mean having your nipples out on display. And I don't want my 13-year-old daughter to think that is a declaration of her body positivity. Because
so you both get it, but you wouldn't advocate it with your own children, which is a very good point. Talking about advocates, and I think we all agree on this one, the best all-time style of 2021 is Lady Gaga. And we're going to leave the show at exactly 1 minute past the hour. That makes it 5:01 p.m. in Miami, and it makes it exactly 9:01 a.m. on a Sunday morning. You ladies have been amazing. I just want to say that the final, and we've got a little bit of a clip that I'll let go and play while we do this. Just your thoughts, Lucy, on What are your thoughts, Lucy, on Lady Gaga?
I think she nails the styles. She's evolved, incredibly evolved, and she touches on all demographics, I believe, like with her causes and, what she stands for.
She's a fashion icon. What do you think, Ms. Hannah in Miami?
I mean, Lady Gaga's the perfect person to go out with after this conversation. I mean, she has gone from performance art on the red carpet, and now she's having her high fashion tour. I mean, she is now a style icon. But she started in that very much, it wasn't fashion, it was performance art and statement making for the sake of statement making. And now she's such a star in her own right. I mean, her fashion evolution over the last decade has been tremendous, and her recent press tour for House of Gucci, I mean, that dress on the red carpet in London was
I mean, to add to both of your comments, I think the interesting thing out of the whole thing is perhaps to break the internet, really make a fashion statement in this day and age, you start off costuming and then you evolve, like Lady Gaga, from the all-meat beat dress to now this high fashion. And it's really interesting that you can really evolve.
When you're starting out, you're maybe not as secure in your place in this celebrity world, and you can go into playing a character if you're in a costume, and once her evolution's been tremendous.
It's incredible. I'm going to ask you, Lucy, first of all, your final take on fashion for 2021 in a few words. What would you say? Advise people when it comes to fashion.
Fashion meets art and more. It's just an explosion of all beauty and cultural influences infused.
Unbelievable. It's a billboard. You've been amazing. Thank you so very much. You've joined us quite a few times for our shows throughout the year. We're going to be doing a bit of a roundup at the end of the year. And Hannah Litman from Wink the principal of Wink Communications, and Lucy, the CEO and founder of Lucy as a designer, Lucy Laurita. What's your take on fashion that you'd like to leave with us for 2021, for the best dressed fashion 2021?
Zoom fashion.
Zoom fashion.
Sweats and bottoms.
I love it. You both are amazing. I'm going to invite you off, and I'm going to say thank you so much. Come back for the show next weekend because you're going to be absolutely enthralled. Thank you again. It's been a pleasure as we do next weekend's Body Positive. And by the way, the final week with Jackie Zook, who was voted by Yahoo Finance as a social media person to watch out for in 2021. She's coming back and telling us what it was like giving birth to her baby. That's how we're ending up the year. Thank you so very much, Hannah. An absolute pleasure. Thank you so very much, Lucy. An absolute pleasure. And for all of you, we're going to leave you with the best all-time style 2021. Keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching on the stars. and we'll see you next weekend. Bye for now.